Yeah. All right. Great. Hey guys, welcome. Glad to have you here tonight. My name is Julius Esunge. I'm the chair of the math department, and I do have one of my students here with us. So we're happy to have all of you joining us. Paige, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Paige. I am a senior math major. So this is my last semester, but on campus, I also am currently living in Ball Hall, and that's where I am located today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So welcome again, and thank you so much for joining us in this virtual visit, right, to the Department of Mathematics. In case you missed earlier, my name is Julius Esunge. I am the chairperson of the Department of Mathematics. I've been at Mary Washington for the last 11 years. So by the time you join us in the fall, it will be the start of my 12th year. So it's going to be a really fun time. Before we get into the discussion tonight, I just want to note that the sessions are being recorded. And so it's okay if if you don't want to get on record or what have you. We have many options for you. You can drop a message in the chat box. Ideally, would encourage everyone to mute themselves. And we really, really appreciate you, joining us in the session tonight. We're again happy as admitted students joining us this evening. We're in the meeting mode here of Zoom, and this session, as I mentioned already, is being recorded. If you do not want to be seen or heard, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. And you may enter your questions in the chat box, and we'll also be leaving time at the end of the meeting to answer your questions. So this is like the basic stuff. So on that note, I like to jump in quickly what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of the Department of Mathematics here at the University of Mary Washington. And thereafter, I will have Paige, who's one of our seniors graduating. So she will maybe just have a few comments, and then we will go right away into your questions. So thank you so much for being here. What I like to do here is I'm going to share my screen with you so you can follow along. This shouldn't take too much time. All right, I'm hoping that you have on the screen exactly what I have. Mathematics at the University of Mary Washington. You know, I'm passionate about mathematics. There's a great book out there about numbers ruling your world, and we do actually have a freshman seminar here about numbers ruling your world, and you'll hear more about that as we travel along. First question, of course, naturally is why study mathematics? Well, of course, it's the most interesting discipline there is on the face of the planet. Now, that's putting it mildly. But mathematics is very useful. It doesn't matter the field in which you look, you're going to need mathematics. You're going to want to have the skills that mathematicians and mathematics courses provide. Mathematics trains you to be a creative attacker of hard problems. Even today in one of my classes, I was saying to my students, hey, guess what? You are learning some amazing skills in the course of your experience here, your time here. And even if you do not work as a classical mathematician, what will happen is that these skills will come in handy in whatever you're doing. And of course, the job prospects and the career opportunities for folks who study mathematics are unbeatable. Why do we encourage you to study mathematics? Well, you just heard that. But why do we encourage you to study mathematics at UMW? First of all, there's a wide range of course offerings. We have courses in pure mathematics. We have courses in applied mathematics. We have courses in statistics and actuarial science. So pretty interesting. For an institution our size, this breadth is actually remarkable. In a number of places, you have to have maybe 2-3 times our size to have so much breadth in terms of the course offerings. And to add to that, the faculty here have diverse interests. So, there are folks in the department who are as pure as they come in terms of their work as mathematicians. There are some who are applied mathematicians. There are statisticians in our department. And then there are folks who just, they go, you don't know when they're pure or applied because their work integrates. And that for me is actually a personal passion because I bring my interests in applied mathematics in every course that I teach, whether it's the real analysis course or whatever. I'm always saying to my students, hey, this is how this is used in economics, in biology, or what have you. There's a great deal of flexibility in the major and in our minor programs. We have minors in mathematics, in applied mathematics, in applied statistics. We have a minor in actuarial science, and all of those are really great. And of course, while you're doing all of this within the context of a liberal arts education, there's a great emphasis on writing, speaking, communication skills, what have you. And then the opportunities that are offered to our students for research, for independent study, for internships. From time to time, when I go to conferences and I speak with colleagues at other institutions, they are just amazed when they hear that my students who are undergrads get to work with me on research projects as part of their training. They're thinking, wait, that must be a graduate program. Well, not quite, but you do get an excellent feel for what professional mathematicians do. And so those are some of the ideas that we like to keep in mind. And we're actually a pretty social bunch, right? So pre-COVID, on the right of your screen, you'll see we have dinners that are organized by one of the honor societies here. And we typically would have some activity with students and professors, what have you, some fun activities. And we're not, we like to pride ourselves as being a bunch of engaged mathematicians, both at the level of the faculty, at the level of the students, and then of course that combination. So there's a family feel to what we do here. Well, as I mentioned already, we have quite a few programs within our department. So you got your classical major in mathematics, right? You get a bachelor's degree in mathematics. There's a minor in mathematics. There's a minor in applied mathematics, in applied statistics, in actuarial science. And then, of course, for those who are interested in becoming teachers, there are education programs for you to be able to qualify as somebody who will teach mathematics. What are some of the courses, some of the electives within the department? The history of mathematics, amazing course, where you see the work, you hear about the work, early development of mathematics, and how all of those contribute together to what current day mathematics is, and that's important. We have a course in differential equations. In fact, two courses. We have the regular ordinary differential equations course. We have a partial differential equations course. We have courses in number theory, in numerical analysis, mathematical cryptography, complex variables, very exciting, chaotic dynamical systems, modern geometry, applied regression analysis, probability and statistical inference, theory of interest. Ooh, this is a passion of mine, theory of interest, just amazing. You get to see the power of a penny over time, and many more such courses that are, kind of on the menu. Speaking of research opportunities, the university actually has a phenomenal 10-week program every summer, which attracts students in STEM fields, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So the STEM programs at Mary Washington select students, select faculty members who then select students to work on a research project in the summer. The students get free room and board, and they get a stipend also. And over the course of that time, they work on a research project with a faculty member. And our students have always performed exceptionally well on these programs. They're either coming in as the top presenter, or they're coming in, as having put forth the best poster and things of the sort. We have independent or individual study courses in mathematics and statistics. So these courses are opportunities for you to actually work one-on-one with a faculty member on material that's of interest to you, of interest to the faculty member, but And here's the catch, this is something that's not in the curriculum. So for instance, you are interested in studying a particular concept in mathematics or the applications of mathematics. I had a student some years back who recently completed his doctorate at Oxford University in England. And what he did was he always heard me talk about the power of Brownian motion and stochastic processes. And he said, look, I want to dig deeper into this concept where we do not have a course in that because it's very technical mathematics. And so he worked with me on an individual study, Math 491, which counts as part of your credits in the program. And speaking of your credits in the program, you get to have the opportunity to work towards not just a plain degree in mathematics, but if you want, you can go in and work towards an honors degree in mathematics. And what that entails basically is you complete the regular requirements for the program, you write a thesis, and you defend this thesis under the guidance of a faculty member, and you present this thesis to the department, and the faculty members say, yep, this is great. And of course, there are GPA expectations in terms of what you're standing as a UMW student and what you're standing as a mathematics major should be in terms of your GPA. And then there are external programs, things like research experiences for undergraduate students, to which we recommend our students. Paige has been to one of those. I'm sure she would gladly share her experience with us. So we're a very active department. We may be small, but we have what it takes to get those neurons fired every time. And then of course your professional experience. Right. So you gain a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience. We regularly will travel with our students to conferences, professional meetings of the mathematical societies where our students get to do presentations. And it's often the case that when you go for a job interview, one of the things I say to my students often is everybody applying for that job will have the minimum qualifications. So what's going to make you stand out is the extra that you bring. And that extra may well be your experience beyond the classroom. So what have I done outside the boundaries of the classroom? Perhaps some research activity, some endeavor within the community, what have you. After UMW, some of the favorite destinations of our students, a number of them go to graduate schools in mathematics, in statistics, in engineering, data science, economics. And we've had students who've left UMW to go to Stanford, to UVA, to George Mason, University of California, Riverside, University of Wisconsin, Madison, VCU, Virginia Tech, really great institutions, and of course, many others. And we have students who work at the Department of Defense, EPA, FBI, NOAA, the Naval Surface Warfare Center at Dahlgren, Boeing, Booz Allen, name it, Lockheed Martin. Some of them teach for private and public schools in our community and beyond. So the opportunity is really vast in terms of what you can do with your degree from the University of Mary Washington. Well, I've been going through this, and I bet you one thing is, I wonder if I have questions beyond tonight, what can I do? Well, here is what you can do. You can simply shoot me an email and indicate what your interests are, indicate what the questions are, and we're more than happy to help you with that conversation. So basically what we're saying is, welcome to UMW, and welcome in particular to our program in mathematics. So you have my email address, jesunge@umw.edu, and of course, tonight, tomorrow, anytime, at any point you feel like, yeah, I have this question, I would love to gain some clarification, feel free to drop me an email. I'm going to turn us over to Paige for a few comments on her end, and then we'll bring you in if you have any questions or anything you would love us to address. Paige, it's on you.
Hi guys. So yeah, Dr. C talked a lot about both in the classroom things and also outside. So I have enjoyed every math class that I've taken. Obviously, we get stressed about finals and things like that, but the professors here at UMW, there's 11, Dr. C, 11 math professors, correct? 12? Yes, 12. And they and every single one is extremely understanding, and you can walk in, whether it's their office hours or not, and they will help you and give you a snack. So it's a very welcoming community. But outside the classroom as well, I had the opportunity to do 2 research experience for undergraduates. So I got to actually go to Clemson 2 summers ago and work there with 5 other students, and we did math research together. And then I also worked one this summer with Moravian in Pennsylvania. Sadly, of course, you guys all know it was virtual, but that was still really fun, and I got to explore graph theory. And when Dr. Singh says that, we want to do independent studies that maybe don't have exact courses here at UMW, I was really interested in graph theory. So I am working with a professor right now on math honors in graph theory. And if you don't know what graph theory is, I definitely recommend just looking up like a YouTube video of it, because it's quite fascinating and you'll probably fall in love with it too. And we also even have study abroad opportunities. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but I was able to go to Budapest in Hungary, where they have a math semester that you can do. And I particularly am interested in education, so I did one in education there, but they also have one just in pure math and applied math and things like that. So definitely a lot of opportunities here in the math community, but also outside. UMW is well known across many different campuses, and so when you apply, people say, "Oh yeah, I had a student 5 years ago from Mary Washington who applied for this, and they were great," and then they give it to you again. And they let you into their program to do research. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Paige. That's great. So really, basically, we welcome our students. We're passionate about the opportunities that we offer. Faculty is highly engaged, very talented, and can't wait to have you in the room with us. That room may be virtual, it may be in person. COVID has taught us to make those appropriate adjustments, and we're just happy and thrilled to have the opportunity to engage with you. So at this point, I'd like to open it up. If you have any questions or any comments that you'd love, anything that you'd love clarification about, this is a good moment for you to jump right in. So feel free, you can either drop us a message in the chat box and we'll pick it up and respond to it. Or if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, or offer a comment, whatever you want to do, that's totally fine. That's highly welcome.
Hello, I'm Mahi, and so I'm really interested in doing pure maths. And so I was wondering, was it possible to do pure maths, but also go through the education program, but also prepare for graduate school for math at the same time?
Very good. So let me Paige speak into that, because that's part of your experience, and then I will come back to it. Thank you for that question.
Yeah. Are you thinking about doing secondary education?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it works out really well. And so with pure math, there are some applied maths we have to take. Differential equations is more applied, things like that. That's still just part of the math major, because we want to be able to see all sides of it, but we get a lot of say of what classes we want to choose. So again, I said I really liked graph theory, so I even I think the department head last year was saying, I overheard him and I was like, can you please put a graph theory class together? And he was able to actually do that for me. And so we actually had a full graph theory class. So if there's a class that you're like, oh, I really want this, that's under pure math, that's something that can be held, and so, but you kind of get a little bit of everything, but it's definitely doable to do a math degree and prepare for grad school, because I'm definitely doing all 3.
That's right. That's excellent. We couldn't have had a better example here tonight, So yes, the answer to your question is absolutely. The core of our program is in, in the classical, what folks would term pure mathematics. And then, of course, you have the options if you want to study, say you want to study more statistics or you want to study more applied mathematics, you have those among the electives. But a student who says, my passion is pure mathematics and that's what I want to do, well, you're absolutely welcome, and you got plenty to dig in from. So each student, of course, at the senior level is expected to complete one of two tracks. Go either the 2 courses in algebra, abstract algebra 1, abstract algebra 2, or take real analysis 1, real analysis 2. Anyone in the mathematics major gets to complete those. Now, students who are interested in doing things more in the direction of pure mathematics, of course, then when they're choosing their electives, the guidance that they receive from the advisors. So what we do basically is every student has, when you come into Mary Washington, you have an advisor who's going to be your freshman advisor. And then as you declare your major to be mathematics, you have a departmental advisor. So roles switch. So for instance, whoever teaches your freshman seminar will typically be your freshman advisor, and they will advise you on which courses to select and so on, excuse me. But then the moment you declare mathematics as your major, I will get a notification. And at that point in time, I will get in touch with you to have a meeting either through Zoom or in person and set up for a departmental advisor. So if a student says, well, I really want to do something in pure mathematics, I'll say, okay, here are 3, 4, 5 faculty members who are really working in the area of pure mathematics, and one of them will be your advisor, those kinds of things. So yes, absolutely. And the strength, the vitality of our program rests in the fact that it actually prepares you for a wide range of careers, including your track to graduate school. So more than welcome, very exciting place to be at Mary Washington. Let's take another question or comment. That's really great. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Oh, and just to let you know, if you double major or you do the education program, you also get advisors in those as well. So that then they can give you information about every little thing you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was a great question.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, my name's Fiona. I love doing math, and I definitely would want to be a math major, and I'm also interested in study abroad. So I was wondering if you could tell me more about your study abroad program with math.
Yeah. So the study abroad program I did was actually over the summer, which was perfect for me because I like living on campus, and so I wasn't doing anything over the summer. And it's called Budapest Semester in Mathematics. So it's BMS. If you look it up, it's just called BMS. And there's also Budapest Semester in Math Education. So if you're interested in learning about how Hungary teaches the math, because it's very different than how we learned math, how many of you guys are in calculus right now? No one?
I am.
Okay, you're in yes, right? There they have this weird system where they don't teach subjects, but they teach it very interestingly. So it was really fascinating to go there because many mathematicians are from Hungary. And so like as you read math textbooks, you're like, wait, oh, this guy's Hungarian. Oh, that's interesting. And so like even when I was walking around downtown, like in Budapest, there'd be street names and I'd be like, that's a famous theorem that I learned about, that name of the street. And like, oh yeah, he was born here, yeah, you took calculus last year. Yeah. So your calculus, they focus on other things other than calc. So it's kind of fun to go and learn about all of their different math problems that they teach. And the credits transfer nicely. And sometimes even if they don't transfer exactly, like, they might not transfer for exact credit to credit, you can still just count it towards any electives. And also to your experiential, I forget the exact name of it, it's new.
Learning.
Experiential learning is a great way to get your experiential learning through doing a study abroad. So yeah.
Excellent. That's a wonderful question, Fiona. You're certainly in the right place in the mathematics major. Now, of course, COVID introduced challenges with travel. We're hoping that things are going to get back to where, by the time you're well into your program underway, travel should be possible. But as Paige mentioned, her experience, for instance, with an opportunity that should have had her move from Fredericksburg, Virginia to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, that ended up being a virtual experience. So we're hoping, of course, that those study abroad opportunities will reopen here once everything is clear. But yes, the department and the university are both highly supportive of those opportunities, because they actually allow you to not just see the world as go to Budapest as a fun trip, but as part of your learning experience, your training, your grounding as a mathematician. So that is certainly fun. Thank you for that question. Others, thank you. Please bring them on.
Hi, I had a question about the math honors program.
Yes.
Is that in any way related to the Mary Washington honors program?
That's very good. That's an excellent question. You are in both, right, Paige? Okay, so again, I'll let you go first, and then I will come behind. Go.
Yeah. So the math honors is separate from the honors program. However, for the honors program, you guys, I don't know if you've gotten any of the honors stuff, but they talk about a capstone where you work with a professor on some sort of project, and then you present that project at the end at the honors symposium. And that is the same project I'm doing for my honors in math. So I'll write a thesis and I'll present to both the honors program, but also to the math department. So it pairs up very nicely.
Yeah. So these are separate programs, right? The Department of Mathematics requires a student to have an overall GPA of 3.0 and an overall GPA in mathematics of 3.5 at the time of graduation, and a thesis completed under the guidance of one of our faculty members to qualify to graduate to have a bachelor's degree in mathematics with honors. A student in the honors program has very specific requirements in terms of certain courses that they must take, and honors courses, a particular number. And of course, so a student who is both in the honors program and a mathematics major has a unique opportunity, because you basically have, like Paige describes, whatever project you complete towards honors for your degree in mathematics actually could as well count for your capstone project in the honors college, right? In the honors program. So that's totally a wonderful opportunity. Now, of course, if you decided to do two separate projects, I don't see why some people say, oh, no, don't do that. That's just going to be a lot of work. So you get this really nice opportunity where you're fulfilling both requirements. Of course, the GPA is, both GPAs, your UMW GPA and your math GPA are both within the range that's stipulated. And then you have this capstone requirement that's fulfilled through your honors project in the Department of Mathematics.
Okay, thank you. It's nice to know that main project overlaps for both, so that's good. Yes,
you're quite welcome. That's great.
So does a lot of things. The classes overlap. The honors, we have math honors classes, so you can just take your math honors classes without worrying about taking a different honors class for something else. And then also there's co-curricular events. And those are any of the math events count as co-curricular events too. So it works out really nicely.
That's great. That's great. Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome, indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
You guys have any other questions? Any other things you're wondering about? Either in math or, UMW in general. Dr. Singh said he's been here 11 years, so he can answer probably a lot.
Well, you probably know a lot more, right? From the students' perspective. So, but yes, be happy to answer questions about UMW. Those that are not able to, I would certainly be happy to point you to someone who would be able to answer that the questions.
I guess I had another question kind of about the honors program. Is I know some of them have like required coursework. Does that conflict between like the math honors or the university honors program, or does that kind of coincide?
Right, that's a great question, Fiona. Thank you. So again, just to remind you, the mathematics honors program, to graduate with honors in mathematics, there are GPA requirements for your overall, and there's a GPA requirement departmental, and then there's completion of an honors thesis. Basically, it's it starts off with an individual study with a faculty member, and then you write anywhere from 20 to 30 pages, could be slightly less, could be a little longer, just depends on the project that you're working on. And you present that to the faculty in the Department of Mathematics. And if they go, yeah, this is excellent, well, then you qualify as one who's graduating with departmental honors. Now, if you're in the honors program, there are expectations that you take certain courses in the course of your study at Mary Washington that are specifically designated as honors courses. So there are several within the department that you can take like that. And there's also the option wherein, for instance, you are in a course which is not designated as honors, but then you're able to go in discussion with the professor to have a contract with the professor that allows that particular course to satisfy the requirement that you take a certain number of honors courses every year that you're at Mary Washington. Okay, so for instance, in the spring of next year, we will have a course, Calculus 2. There are two sections. One of them will be an honors section, and then the other is a plain old calculus class. And so perhaps in your second year, you're going, okay, I need one math class, which is honors, but who knows? Let's say there's none, but you're in differential equations, for instance, then you would approach whoever is teaching the class. Your advisor will guide you accordingly, or you just come to me by email or in person. And assuming, of course, that we're in that situation where meeting one-on-one in person is possible, either way, or Zoom, and then we'll set up for you to be able to have a contract such that your differential equations class, your professor might say, okay, so I'm going to need you to do the following items in addition to whatever is happening in the class for this to count as an honors designated, as an honors class for you. So that's on a contract basis, and the terms are spelled out. This isn't something onerous or terribly burdensome, but this keeps you on track because you're in the honors program of the university. Okay, so did you take any courses by contract that way, Paige?
No, I was able to get a lot of them. Some of my just general gen ed ones counted, and then also some of the education ones. So it kind of matched up nicely. Yeah.
There you go. So there are lots of opportunities for you to meet the requirements from the honors program, separate from whatever the departmental honors would be. But the best part is that both of these converge nicely when you're looking at your capstone project, the requirement from the honors college, and your honors thesis requirement from the Department of Mathematics. So you do this one from the department and you let it count for the capstone. Boom, nice convergence there, win-win.
You've been teaching too much real analysis.
I've been teaching too much real analysis, that's right. Guilty as charged, right? So convergence. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Fiona. Thank you. we're happy to take more questions. Any comments, any ideas you have, anything you're concerned about, we're happy to help you. And you have my email address. Paige, if you don't mind, just drop it for me again in the chat. If you missed it on the slides, it's just jesunge@umw.edu. So, you know, you can always email me, and if you have questions or what have you, and we're happy, really happy to, you know, to help you, provide whatever guidance you would need, and so on. Thank you. So I have a question for you, and the question is twofold. Can you complete the following sentence, and can you tell me who said it? It was a famous mathematician, okay? And the sentence goes, a mathematician is a machine for turning blank into blank. So can you fill in those two blanks? And can you tell me who the famous mathematician who is credited with that statement is? Now, you don't have to give me both blanks. You could give me any of them. One of them starts with a C, and the other starts with a T. T like Thomas, and C like Charlie. Paige, have you heard this before? No? Oh, this
I've
is
never
cool.
heard this. This is very fun.
Oh, yes.
I want to say something like conditions, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, mathematician is a machine for turning conditions.
Doesn't make
so
sense.
the hint I think, Paige, you can relate to is I got water, right? Because, you know, I prefer water. I generally don't drink coffee. Aha.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not a big coffee fan, but I know, you know, some of our colleagues love it. So it was Paul Eldoche, the famous mathematician, who said, a mathematician is a machine for turning coffee into theorems.
Oh, I do remember this, yes.
It's a machine for taking coffee. You know, you drink your coffee, and then what comes out is theorems. Theorems are bright, fine, nice ideas in the world of mathematics, and which actually are the ways mathematicians advance knowledge. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. What time do you guys have to get up for school usually?
Is that for me?
Oh no, I'm gonna ask them. Then we'll ask you. Don't worry. If you wanna go ahead.
Okay.
I guess now with virtual a little later, with around 7, I guess.
Okay, late 7. Okay.
Yeah. I try to wake up by 7, but I'm usually out of bed around 7:30.
It's pretty good. That's better than me. I'm gonna tell you, college classes, it's great, guys. You don't have class until 11. It's wonderful. You get to sleep in. It's great. Yes, but Dr. Singer, what time do you wake up in the morning?
Sure. Can I pass?
No, you cannot pass.
So I have something in my classes wherein if I ask you a question, you can pass, right? Paige wouldn't let me pass. She's not paying me back. I let her pass sometimes in class, but
I never passed. You
never passed. That's right. Well, I'm an early bird. Okay, I'm an early bird. I love to get the day going pretty early. I was thinking when you said classes don't start till 11, I was like, you know, for a while, I taught a class, maybe for 8 years. I actually taught one section of statistics every Tuesday, Thursday at 8 in the morning. And it was an amazing, it's like a rock concert, only it's early in the morning. And I always had students go, I cannot believe I'm awake at 8 in the morning. I cannot believe I'm looking forward to going to this class. This guy is crazy, you know, but like, okay, that's amazing. What you? But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I love to get going early. I'm not very useful, well, you know, after, let's say 10 p.m. at night. I can certainly respond to email and do all of that stuff, but, you know, yeah, so I probably told you this story in class. I had a student one time email me like, you know, 2:30 a.m. in the morning. And that's not the time I normally wake up. but I happened to be awake on that day. So I responded. The email came in and I responded. And 10 minutes later, they go, is this real? Did you actually respond to this email? I said, wait, are you, I didn't expect a response till like 11 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock. I said, calm down. Sent an email. I was awake. Said, oh, that really scared me. I said, no, aren't you happy you got? So yeah, for a moment I thought it was an instant response, but then it was coherent. It addressed my question. So, anyway, just to say you get quite a bit of support, a lot of support actually from our faculty members. And to Paige's question, yes, I'm up early, but real analysis is at 9:15, 9:25, right? It's not at 8 a.m. And sometimes 11 a.m. or what have you. So yes, yeah.
About how big are the class sizes for the math courses?
That's an excellent question. So our largest class is at 30 for the intro stats, introduction to statistics. But once you hit the 300 level, these are your classes, so in your first year, basically like the calculus class is at 30, some of them at 25, just depends how many students sign up. And then if it's an honors class, it's at 20. If it's speaking intensive or writing intensive, any of those, it's even smaller, even at the freshman level. And then by your sophomore, junior, most of your classes tend to be like 15 students. I mean, in real analysis class in the spring, in the fall of last year with Paige, we were 14 in there. There were 14.
Yeah.
And I currently have 9 students in my second real analysis course. So it's not atypical actually to have 12 to say 10 to 14 students in your class. So you should expect differential equations is capped at 15. Courses at the 300 level, which are typically like juniors, will be 15. Senior courses for seniors are typically 15. That's the cap. And again, depending on interest, you may have 13 students in the class. So you really get that individual attention. And see, when I was a graduate student at here in the US, at a nice institution that I will not mention, I taught calculus classes with 40 students. You will not have a calculus class with more than 30 students at Mary Washington. It's not going to happen. I taught Calc 1, I taught Calc 2, and both of those were capped at 40. So I had 40 students in my classes. And yeah, so, but your classes, basically in the math program will be taught by full-time faculty members, and basically all of your classes in the major will be taught not just by full-time faculty members, but they will be taught by individuals who hold doctorate degrees in mathematics. So they understand what it means to go from point A as a student into your bachelor's, into your graduate degree, and now they're saying, let's pass on this knowledge and really passionate, really passionate. And that's something to enjoy, which is quite unique at Mary Washington.
Thanks. Yeah, that's awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Can't wait to have you all in class, see you on campus, see you on, interact and just exchange knowledge and engage. It's a very wonderful environment. The professors, I guess I'm not qualified to say this, right? Because I'm speaking as a professor, as a faculty member, but the students will tell you, you would certainly find that the faculty members are really interested in you as a person, in part because, when you're 14 of you in class or 15 of you, everybody gets to know everybody. And it's not like the faculty member is going, okay, I got 36 people in this room and, oh, person number 34 is not here. No, the faculty member will go, hey, Joe Friendly is not in class today. What's going on with Joe? And someone might say, oh yeah, Joe said he emailed, that kind of thing. What it said. Great.
What would you say is like your favorite class to teach in the math department?
My favorite class to teach?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's an excellent question. Um, Maybe it's just me, but I basically throw myself, my whole being into every class I teach. Okay. Having said that, um, there's just something about the real analysis classes that is so exciting. Why? Because my view of the mathematics class is I love to think of it as a river. You know how a river goes from one point to the other, and as it's going, if you come to this point like midway, whatever you get there is a collection of things that have come along as the river has been traveling. Whether the pH or what have you, all of those types of things. So one of the things I try to do in every class I teach is to make sure the students connect what's happening in their other classes. So in the course of the discussion, somebody might ask a question or I'm discussing some idea, then I will talk about, how this connects to maybe your course in algebra or your course in number theory as appropriate, what have you. So the things in real analysis, complex analysis, those are things I love teaching a lot. In fact, now I don't get to do them as often. The course in the theory of interest is just amazing. It's amazing because what you see is the mathematics that runs behind insurance systems, stocks and bonds and all of those. Now, of course, you can take a class in stocks and bonds and financial instruments, loans, securities, what have you, in the College of Business. You can take a class in that. What you get is what these things are and their usefulness and how to get involved with them, but you really don't understand the mathematics behind. And there's amazing, simple, yet powerful and transformational mathematics behind that. So some of the things that come up some from time to time in the course of that particular class, I have students go, you should have taught this class my first year at Mary Washington. It would have made a whole difference for me and how I look at money and how I treat a dollar over time, because one of the things we say, kind of obvious, a dollar today, that same dollar is not worth a dollar in 10 years or in 15 years, what have you. And a dollar in 2010 is not a dollar today. What are the factors and how can you leverage that kind of knowledge, to position yourself as a better citizen, more informed, what have you, and things of the sort. So theory of interest is one of those classes where basically every day you come to class, you have something that literally changes your view of money for that day and for all time, as it were. But yeah, those are I'm pretty much just passionate about every class I teach, but I see how all of these play out together nicely.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. I just have to say this is not just true of me, right? This is basically true of all of my colleagues in the Department of Mathematics. You would take a class in chaotic dynamical systems with Dr. Sumner, for instance, and you go, oh my gosh, what in the world is she doing? This is so fascinating. And then you get into abstract algebra with either Dr. Lehman or Dr. Konieczny or Dr. Hemsterpler, what have you, and you're like, wow. And so you basically go from high to high to high. And then by the end of the day, you go, I can't wait for tomorrow to have this experience all over, and then you're in class with Dr. Cheng, she kind of will go very loud and then really quiet to get your attention, and then she'll go really loud again, just lots of fun. Yeah. So Yeah, our program is rich. It's rich both in the diversity of the courses, diversity of the expertise of the faculty members, and diversity of the faculty itself. You know, so you have folks who are, you know, did all of their education in the U.S., and then there are folks who did some of their education overseas, and they bring that wealth of perspective and experience to the classroom. And it's just you basically are seeing how mathematics changes, impacts the rest of the planet, the rest of the globe. And you're right there being part of an important piece in this amazing puzzle. So it's really exciting. Yeah. So well, we're happy to take some more questions if you have them, and if you don't, that's okay. You're welcome again to email me. If you want to email Paige, that's also fine. You know, but you know, I would be your primary contact with the department as the chair. And so, you know, you can certainly shoot me an email, and would be happy to discuss further with you, offer any guidance, any assistance. And I cannot wait to welcome you to campus in the fall. You know, I just can't wait to go, wow, you made it, you're here. And, you know, and listen, it's certainly wonderful having this conversation. We're so grateful. I'm grateful on behalf of my colleagues and the department, our students, and the entire campus. You know, we're so happy to have you come along. And yeah, it's okay to go tell others. You know, it's okay to go, you know what, this is where you want to be. That's totally fine. We're happy to have folks come along. So thank you so very much. And you know, we still have some time before we wrap up, but I guess that's pretty much it, except you have other questions. Paige, did you have any closing thoughts?
No, we are having a alumni career panel for math in March. So if you want me to send that email to you, you guys are more than welcome to come. And so if you just message me your email, I can email you that information if you're interested. I know you guys had some questions about that. So
right. So this will be a panel of alums, folks who study mathematics at Mary Washington, who will now be telling us where they are, what they're doing, and how they're using mathematics in their current job and what have you, and how the experience at Mary Washington prepared them for what they're doing currently. So that promises to be a lot of fun. Okay, well, I don't hear any questions. So thanks again. Thank you so very much for coming along tonight. And I look forward to seeing you here.
Yep, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Erica. Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. And thank you, Kennedy. And yes, thank you. Great. All right, well, you have a good evening. Bye-bye.
guys, thank you.
Thank you, Paige. Nice to meet you.